Have you ever played a game that you thought looked pretty good? The gameplay looks solid and the story might be decent, but when you actually play it, you instantly regret it. Well, in today's video, I'll be going for Gravity Rush Remastered's Platinum Trophy, as I will be collecting all 64 trophies, including the ones from the DLCs. We start with the game with our main character named Kat not knowing where she is as she suffers from a main character disease known as amnesia. Once I start moving around, I then already got my very first trophy, Lost Cat, for just existing. Continuing on, this random man falls out of nowhere and destroys his ankles for no reason when there's stairs literally right next to him. He asks for our help to save his son that is currently being sucked into a gravity storm. Luckily, our cat companion named Dusty gives us the ability to manipulate gravity, and we quickly make our way towards the man's son to save him and take out the gravity storm in the process, as the son and father reunite safe and sound. Also, their house got destroyed in the process and they blame me for it, even though they just saw a big ass gravity storm just sucked it away. What did you do? You didn't do what? I asked you to save my boy, not destroy my house. You know what? Bye bye, you little shit. Right after that, I got another trophy from Oblivion for completing episode 1. And completing each episode will give me a free trophy, as there are a total of 21 episodes. Moving on, we then see somebody else taking gravity shift as well, and her name is Raven. We help out a police officer named Sid that was getting jumped by some thugs and getting attacked by these monsters known as Nevi that came from the gravity storm. And this introduces us to the combat of the game, where I'm going to have to really rely on gravity kicks, as they deal the most amount of damage, though they are very difficult to control. I fucking missed. And this finishes up episode 2, giving me the trophy Shadows Over the City. Moving on, I was then asked by this guy that works for the city to fix the fountain by collecting precious gems floating in the air. Once I get the gems, I then put it inside of this generator, which got the fountain working again. I also had a few gems left over, so I used those to upgrade one of my abilities, and finishing that up gives me the trophy Learner's Permit for completing the tutorial. I was then able to do my very first challenge, where in this challenge I have to defeat as many Nevi as possible before the time ends. And finishing that up gives me the trophy New Challenger for clearing my first challenge. Moving on, we then had to find a home to live in. So after falling down a manhole, Kat decides that the perfect place for her to live would be inside of a pipe in the sewers. We then make our way around the city looking for different furniture pieces to put inside of our home. Yo, we stole a chair. And finishing that up gives me the trophy Home Sweet Home. And while I was doing another challenge, I managed to get the trophy Pitching Machine after hurtling 10 objects into enemies without missing or taking damage. Moving on to episode 4, there's an evil bad guy named Elias doing bad things. Our friend Sid, who is a detective now, asks us to go and get the sacred gem and swap it out with a fake one so that Elias doesn't get his hands on it. So we have to sneak our way around the police because for some reason he didn't tell them that we're working with them. We swapped it out with the fake one and gave the real one to Sid, but turns out the Sid that we were talking to was actually Elias, as the real Sid was knocked out in the grass. A bunch of Nevi starts attacking the police, so we go ahead and help them out, and that pretty much ends episode 4, giving me the trophy Hexville Phantom. We make our way towards a building named Pandora's Fortunes. Fuck, I can't talk. As we try to figure out more of Kat's past. But instead of figuring out her past, oh my God, we talk to this fortune telling lady and her doll. This thing is kind of scary, but not as scary as a job application. They basically give us a checklist of things that we have to do in order to find a man that will change her destiny. And the list of clues we have to find goes as follows: white flyer, blue flag on high, red runners, open gateway, and invitation underground. We then follow this pigeon that takes us all the way towards this little kid that is standing in front of a drawing of a
drawing that looks like a gateway.
And the kid asks for our help to find his father. So we make our way towards a high vantage point so that it will be easier to find his father. Though once we get on top of this building, instead of finding a blue flag, we instead find somebody's blue dirty ass underwear. But then a guy lost a bunch of his red balloons, so we quickly help him catch them, but one of them managed to fly away and conveniently land into the father's hands. So once we take the father back to his son, the kid is actually not there anymore. I don't know where the hell you went. But the drawing that used to be on the wall is now actually a door. Once we make our way inside, it takes us to this strange place, as it leads to a random pipe underground, which we go inside of, taking us to the man of our destiny, this old dude.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And his name is Gabe, as he is the creator of this world, and he's actually the man that will change Kat's destiny. And that ends episode 5. Give me the trophy, a meeting with destiny. We meet back up with the old man as we see a big chunk of Old Town is missing. The only way to get the missing part of the town back is to go inside of a rift plane. And rift planes are very simple, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. All we have to do is just fight a bunch of Nevi, follow these flowers all the way towards the missing piece of the town. And while I was fighting a bunch of Nevi, I managed to hit 10 gravity kicks without taking damage or landing, and that got me the trophy, Frequent Flyer. Once we make it to the missing part of the town, this starts up our very first boss fight. But this boss fight is pretty easy once you know how to fight it.
So I need to get under him now? Whoa! I jumped straight into it. Ow, 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 ow. I fucking died.
We then take out the boss by hitting it with a finisher. Yeah. We managed to bring the missing part of the town back. You know what we get as a reward? An ass beating. Luckily enough, Gabe comes in and saves Kat as she runs away. That ends episode 6, giving me the trophy, the Lost City. But we now have access to trains as we can make our way towards the next town of Hexfield, the entertainment district. We then start up the next episode helping out a student named Newt find his friend Echo. And this episode is really only relevant because it starts up the plot point of a missing school bus filled with children. They say if you walk the grounds alone at night, the bus appears and you hear the voices crying for help, but no one who boards the bus is ever seen from or heard from again. We then disguise ourselves as a student as we go around town asking other students if they have seen Echo. Once we find her, we then see her transform into this Nevi monster. So we quickly had to stop her before she affects the whole school. That ends episode 7, giving me the trophy, Too Many Secrets. It was now time to find another missing part of the town. And this one's pretty much the same as the last rift, except we get to fight Raven. Though this boss fight wasn't difficult at all, especially compared to another boss fight that I have to do with her later. Though once we try to hit her with a finisher, she hits us with a counter finisher, which completely wipes both of us out, but she managed to escape. And finishing up episode 8 gives me the trophy, 101 Nights. We make our way towards the next district, Industria, the factory district. We then see our friend Sid again as he asks for our help to stop Elias, as he is going for the second sacred gem that is located inside of Industria. While patrolling the area, Elias managed to put a bomb inside of the waste processing plant, so we quickly make our way over there and we retrieve the bomb. What? Okay, this time I didn't let the bomb explode. Once the bomb is secured, we make our way towards the sacred gem where we found Elias appearing out of nowhere. We then chase after him until it leads us into a boss fight. And this boss fight wasn't too difficult. I had a good understanding with the controls when I didn't miss. And his boss fight is pretty much the same as all others. Kick it until it dies. And Elias definitely dies. No. Wait. Or is he? They then reveal these two mysterious military people, but I don't care because they literally only relevant at the end of the game. And that ends the episode, giving me the trophy, letting old ghosts die. I then went through another rift plane, and there's nothing really to talk about here. This is pretty much the same as the other ones. The only difference is that Dusty accidentally ate some galaxy crack, and now he's not feeling so good. So once I finish that up and bring back the missing town part, some of the Nevi managed to make it through the rift plane. So we have to go ahead and take care of them. But not before we get the trophy, Curiosity Killed the Cat, for completing episode 10. As we get thrown straight into episode 11, where again we have to take out all of the Nevi. And that's pretty much all we do. There's really nothing else to this episode. But holy fuck, fighting these things were annoying as shit. It was just too much shit everywhere.
Oh my god.
We then take out the last Nevi with a finisher. The military then shows up, but
we do not care.
Finishing that up gives me the trophy Thick Skin. We now make our way towards Vendy Center downtown. We then meet up with Gate again, as he hints at us that we are about to go on a very long trip, because we found this random lady and she asked if we could retrieve her letter that she accidentally dropped inside of the Gravity Storm, as that letter was meant for her lover, even though she literally can just write another letter. And so we start making our journey all the way down into the Gravity Storm, and pretty much all we do is just go down and down. Honestly, this part of the game is really boring as shit, except for the boss fight with Raven, though again it's pretty simple. All you have to do is just dodge all of her attacks and throw a bunch of rocks at her. Anyways, once we get past her, something shoots out straight from the Gravity Storm and completely snipes Cat off the map. And that ends the episode, giving me the trophy Look Out Below. We then get captured by a bunch of children that later on we figure out that these are the missing children from that school bus. We also talk to this little girl named Cyan, and she'll become important later on. But first we have to make her escape, so after jumping around and getting the cage loose, which breaks us free, but then a bunch of Nevi started to attack the children, so of course we had to go help them. After that, the leader named Zaza explains more about their situation on how they got there in the first place. That ends chapter 13, giving me the trophy Kids Just Don't Understand. Moving on, a big Nevi boss named Nushi comes and attacks the village, and it was nothing too special. It's pretty much just like every other boss fight. So this time Raven actually helps us instead of constantly being our ass. We also figure out Raven's real name is Sasha, as she was one of the missing children, though she is very much older because time works differently when you're at the bottom. And that ends episode 14, giving me the trophy The Lost Tribe. Moving on, we then go look for Cyan. Once we find her, she seems to be a bit dazed, but the structure under her started to break, so we quickly managed to save her. And we figure out that Cyan is also a creator, just like Gabe. But once we look into her eyes, she takes us to a strange place where we learn more about Cat's past, hinting that Cat used to be a queen of some sort, as Cyan is trying to open up our third eye. Once we come back to reality, Cyan opens up our third eye, which reveals the art which we can use to help the children escape this place. And finishing that up gives me the trophy Memories of Another World. Now that we have our third eye open, we can go ahead and make our way inside the ark and activate it. We then bring all the children inside so that we can make our way out of here. But the Nushi appears again for no fucking reason and starts attacking the ark, so we have to go ahead and take it out again. That was literally just the same fight. It's starting to get boring now. Once we defeat it and manage to grab a hold of Cat, so Dusty saves her by becoming the Black Panther. Anyways, we start to get the ark moving and we make our way back towards the surface. But for some reason, Nushi is still not dead and starts to attack the ark again. And both Cat and Dusty manage to fall off the ark. That ends episode 16, giving me the trophy Children of the Past. In chapter 17, we pretty much have to do the exactly same thing we did in chapter 12, but this time in reverse. Skipping past all that bullshit, once we make our way back towards the surface, we can see that things are a little bit different. We see the big bad mayor Delicia has taken over Hexville and basically put it under martial law. Nushi is still somehow alive and follows us into the city, but the military came in and finally took this fucking shitty ass boss out. We then talk to the general and he says that it has been a year since we have been gone. He also introduced us to Seawax, but I don't care. I just want to finish the fucking story. That ends chapter 17, giving me the trophy Fading Light. Now that I'm pretty close to the end of the game, I decided to go ahead and clean up some of the miscellaneous trophies so that I could just go ahead and outright get the platinum trophy at the very end of the game. The first trophies I was going for was to fight some secret enemies that were located in each of the 3 rift planes. And they're basically just your regular enemies, except that they take a long time to freaking kill. But I managed to take all 3 of them out, and here is all of the trophies for them. I then went ahead and finished up all of the challenges. There's really nothing much to talk about here, just your basic old challenges that I did earlier in the video. So here's all the trophies for them, including the DLC ones. Next up, I went ahead and did all of the 3 different DLC missions. One of them you go undercover as a spy, another one you take up a job as a maid, and the final one you help out the military. But not to waste time going into detail with each of the DLC stories, here goes all of the trophies. And now for the last few trophies I got, they were pretty much just some odd trophies. The first one I got was Gravitational Anomaly, and I got that by defeating 8 enemies with 1 special attack. Next up, I had to find this mysterious couple. They got different aspects of themselves, like across the different maps and inside of the Rift Plains, and you're supposed to hear out their story. So once I heard their final story that they had to tell, that gives me the trophy Lost in Time and Space. The next 2 trophies I'll get is from collecting a total of 20,000 and 40,000 precious gems, and those trophies are Gem Collector and Gem Aficionado. I then got the trophy Top Cat after raising Cat's reputation to Top Cat, because that's a thing. And my final trophy I got was Going Underground after discovering every single manhole. Now we can move on to episode 18. Fuck this episode. I literally had to play the mission again in order to get the trophy, because the first time I played it, I didn't get it. Oh, I can't fucking pause. Even the screenshot is working. What's going on? Yo, I can't interact with anything. I think it's bugged out. Hopefully I ain't gotta do a mission over again. Oh my god. Anyways, here's the trophy for it. Chapter 19. This is literally just padding. It barely adds anything to the story, and it will literally just be a waste of time even talking about it. So here's the trophy for it. Now we are here at the final 2 episodes, and it doesn't get better from here. Basically, everyone listens to Mayor Delencia's announcement where he shows off a big round circle that is supposed to be a defense mechanism to protect the people of Hexville. A bunch of Nevi then shows up, so we start taking them out. Sea-Wasp then comes out of nowhere and attacks us because we are under arrest for the cause of absolutely nothing. We're literally helping people. Fuck, this ending sucks. But this boss fight is not difficult at all because I'm pretty much maxed out at this point, so I didn't even struggle. But once I defeat her, she activates a trap which sucks up Dusty, and we try to save him, but then we just magically get frozen. But then Sid comes out of nowhere and shoots at the helicopter. For the love of God, please just end the game. This ending is bad. This is a terrible ending. And for our final boss fight for the final episode, we get to fight a fucking ball. Ball meaning that I'm supposed to have any type of feelings I'm supposed to have here. It just doesn't exist. I'm fighting a ball. You know what, honestly, just throw the fucking rest of the story in the trash. I'm fucking done with the story. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. This shit was so weak and lame, like, oh. Anyways, we did get the final trophy before the platinum. No rest for the victorious. And then we finally get the platinum trophy. It's all relative. Holy shit, they fumbled the ending. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please consider liking and subscribing, as it would help out the channel. Anyways, thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.